So lately, anytime that I've sat down to enjoy any aspect of the hobby, I've been having a guilty feeling about it. It's like there's constantly a little voice in the back of my head whispering, shouldn't you be doing something productive right now? And I've been feeling that a lot lately. Whether I'm painting miniatures, setting up a solo game, or if I'm just building some terrain out of junk that I have laying around. This wave of guilt is constantly there. And I wanted to take a moment to just unpack why that might be happening, or at least from my perspective. I think that a lot of people in a similar situation to myself, in your 40s, full-time job, family, might be feeling the same way about the time that they take to enjoy their hobbies. And I just thought that it would be a little bit interesting to discuss it a little bit and kind of dig a little deeper. So I hope that you'll hang out with me and just kind of listen to me ramble on about this a little bit. Now I know that I've briefly touched on this subject in some of my more recent videos, but it just feels like taking time for yourself anymore is almost discouraged. Everything has to count. Everything has to move you forward. Everything has to justify itself. If what you're doing isn't making money, improving your home, or building something useful, then it kind of feels like a waste of time. For instance, if I'm just sitting and painting a miniature, I feel like maybe I should be catching up on work emails. If I'm playing a solo game, I feel like shouldn't I be doing something around the house? Something needs fixing. And the funny thing is that I actually feel less guilty doom scrolling for an hour or binge watching something on TV. It's kind of crazy, but that all feels more socially acceptable. And one of the issues that makes me feel guilty is, I'm sure it's age related, because at this stage of my life, I have kids, I have a family, I have a job, I have a home, which there's constantly something to be done around home. I'm always wanting to do better for them. I'm always wanting to make more money, do something that's more meaningful for the community. But yeah, there's always just that guilt trip that I impose on myself. So even when I finally do get a minute to breathe, it's like something just pops in my brain that says, hey, aren't you behind on something? Don't you need to get caught up? And this creates a situation where my hobbies, which require me to be present and relaxed, clash with a mind that's always in task mode. And that guilt shows up the second I sit down. And something that I've noticed is that solo hobbies actually feel worse than group hobbies do. For instance, if you're out golfing with friends, that's totally fine. If you're watching the game with some buddies, no problem. But if I sit down alone and paint or play a solo game, build some terrain, suddenly I feel kind of selfish. Like this is just for me. And there's no social validation for it. And I think that the problem is with a group, you are also entertaining them as well. You're getting that social aspect in. For solo hobbies, you're not getting that social aspect. So it's not like you are sharing that time with anybody else, which is how they are intended. But I think that that's part of the problem is why I'm feeling guilty. At least when a friend asks me to do something, I'm not just taking that time just for myself. Now it's for him or the group of people that I'm hanging out with as well. Now, one thing that for me personally, and I think that this again is due to my age, is hustle culture. For a long time, I was constantly reading self-help books, how to get ahead, all of these different influences on my life about hustle culture, about I should have a side project going, something that's going to make money on the side. I should always be improving, whether it's my exercising, my finances, whatever that might be, reading more books. Every minute should be spent building something. Basically, free time is wasted time. And I have to say that for myself, I really fell into that mentality where if I was wasting any amount of time, it would give me anxiety. It would make me very, very twitchy. Like I need to be doing something constantly to improving myself. And I know that that's not realistic. And I know and I understand that taking time for yourself is one of the most important things that you can do. But I think it's easy to just fall into that trap of hustle culture where, I constantly got to be making more money, more friends, more. I've got to do stuff that means something. And for instance, even with doing YouTube videos, every time that I go to enjoy the hobby with just painting miniatures, playing a game, it's like I constantly feel like, should I be filming this? Or how can I make a video out of this? Or what idea will this spark? Do people want to watch this or not? So that kind of makes it difficult to enjoy hobby time as well. Now, I do still feel the pull of I constantly need a second job or some kind of passive income coming in, but I have relaxed a little bit on it because it was just simply making my hobby time into work when it should have just been my time to relax and enjoy what I'm doing without having to worry or stress over, is this something that is going to be productive? Is this something that's going to improve anything for me? Rather than just enjoying it and de-stressing. Now, I kind of want to circle back to something that I mentioned earlier, and that's as far as having a family or a group of people that also depend on you. I think that some of the guilt from taking time for your hobbies is also related to that, but it shouldn't be. It's not their fault for something that I self-impose on myself. And I know that, but subconsciously it kind of creeps in because I just feel guilty not spending time with them and just spending time for myself. Almost like I have to entertain them, but that's all on me. I know that that is not the truth. And to be honest, I need to understand more that taking time for myself and enjoying my hobbies actually makes me a better father, a better husband, because then I don't ever hold resentment towards them as far as, oh, they kept me from my hobbies, or oh, they kept me from doing something that I really wanted to do like that. But that time to have just for me and to de-stress actually makes me much better for them as well. So it's a big benefit for the entire family or the entire group of people, is just taking that time for yourself and just kind of being able to relax a little bit. You're going to come back more refreshed, certainly more relaxed, and overall probably a much better person to be around. And that's something that I'm starting to realize. And I'm still a work in progress, but I need to realize more and more that hobbies aren't just me being irresponsible. They're not me taking time off. They're not me goofing off. They're actually the thing that's resetting me and keeping me more capable of handling life in general. When I'm relaxed, I can get more things done. I can actually focus more clearly on important tasks. I think it resets your creativity, and doing something just because you enjoy it, it's not a flaw. It's just natural. It's something that humans have done for thousands of years. You can find it in cave drawings, old carvings that people dig up. There are thousands of examples of things that may not have been productive, but people did them because they were inspired to do them. So I guess the lesson here, and it's something that I need to listen to myself, is that we shouldn't feel guilty for taking that time and enjoying our hobbies. It actually is going to make us a better person at the end, and it is actually producing something useful, and it is helping us to improve ourselves. So yeah, I guess this video is just something to help remind me that it's okay to go ahead and enjoy my solo hobbies. And you could expand this out to any hobby where it's more or less a solo venture, like woodworking, photography, practicing the guitar, drawing. The list just goes on. And I think that this is a very general topic for any hobby like that. So yeah, that's just something that I was thinking about. I needed a topic this week for the videos, and I thought that, hey, maybe this will help somebody out there. I know it helped me just talking about it and reflecting on it for myself. So I'd love to know if you ever feel guilty about taking time to enjoy your hobbies or not. If you do, how do you deal with it, or how do you justify it maybe? But yeah, I'm very curious to hear your thoughts on this as well. And if you thought that this topic was a little bit interesting, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe. It would really mean a lot to me. So With that, I just want to say thanks for watching, as I always appreciate anyone who even took 5 seconds to watch one of my videos. Now I've got to get back to making some terrain. I have a few games lined up, but I need a few more extra pieces of terrain to get them to where I want them to be. So I hope to see you in the next video, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.